Hello, you ungrateful pricks. Yeah, Sainty Magnus here, fanning the flames once again. I'm going to be reading some of your comments from the last podcast. Now, I know the audio was a bit fucked, right? There was a problem with the original recording, so I tried my best to fucking fix it. If you don't like it, wait till next week, it'll be fixed. So, I'm going to fan the flames, so to speak, for this past podcast. So, let's see. Let's start off with some of the comments from the actual episode. First one is from Michael Jackson. Sainted has been playing Final Fantasy IV since the podcast started. Lol. So fucking what? I like to enjoy my RPGs. If you don't, I'm not one of those that rushes it in a week. Here's a series of comments, all stemmed from this one. Why does my left ear only hear British? That's from JP Shovel 11. There was a reply to that from 420 What's Liquorin, or whatever you fucking pronounce it. I only hear Sainted as well. What the fuck is going on? Oh my god, this sounds like a nightmare. I can hear everyone, but is there a way to filter out Magnus's voice? That's from Wizzy Poo. I'm just as much a part of this fucking podcast as the rest of the guys. And if you don't like it, don't listen. We can do with one less fucking arrogant prick in our fan base. You know what I mean? Book Lover 90,000 puts. I love the podcast. I totally agree with you about the way developers are focusing on graphics instead of the story. They also need to realise that people aren't going to pay $60 for games Instead they are going to wait for the price to drop and then they'll buy it. That's true. If developers want to stay in business, they need to get back to the story and lower the prices to $25 or $30 for games. They'll win the hearts of gamers and sell more copies of the game. Good point. In my opinion, if they're going to they should have dropped the prices years ago. Over here it's £40 for a game, which works out at nearly $65. Australia, the poor bastards, have to pay $100 Australian for a game. How fair is that? There needs to be a standardised price all over the world. That's the way I see it. Redix88. Hopefully I pronounced your name properly. Great episode. The last discussion was stop on. I'm guessing that's supposed to say spot on. Games are seriously lacking in creativity nowadays. I'm so thankful for the indie market. I agree. The indie market seems to have a great following, and it seems to be feeding us what gamers want nowadays. Not like what these developers seem to do. They give us another grey first-person shooter, just to quote a bit of Razor Fist there. I, for one, I like my first-person shooters, but I like my first-person shooters to actually have a bit more depth to them, not just like a Call of Duty clone. That's my point. Sanders Strayball, whatever you pronounce that fucking name. I have Shadow Assassins, and I am ashamed I haven't played it yet. What the fuck's wrong with you? Get in your PlayStation, get it fucking played. If you don't play it, and we don't hear about it, if we hear you haven't been playing it, basically. I will kill you. Anyway. John Kun. The Crisis and versus Master Chief battle would be fucking amazing. Thank you, SMS. You're welcome. Here we go. Just move the camera slightly so I can see this. This one is from 90kpia. Your sound is terrible. Well, he's put you sound is terrible. Well, it's fucking right English. I can't read it very well, but I can speak it. 1. Start recording podcasts on Skype Recorder or whatever you're recording on. Or what the fuck are we supposed to do? 2. Get a fucking separate audio track for each, and then combine them. So, yeah, fix the goddamn audio. What gives you the right to tell us how we make our podcast? You know, we don't have fucking money coming here, there, and everywhere. You might think it, but we don't. If you wanna pay for the fucking software, then send us a PM and mail it to your ass. Right, let's see. AL Justice. Now he sends us a lot of comments. So, great podcast. At the end, guys. I don't honestly care what kind of video card the PS3 has. Have you ever seen the exclusive titles, Uncharted? The game is breathtaking. I read on GameFAQs. I'm supposing that's supposed to be GameFAQs, but GameFAQs, we'll call it that. That the PS3 had a card equivalent to a 7800. 7800 what? Atari? Or some shit. I'm sorry, but who cares? Who gives a shit? Single fuck. I don't want HD shit. I want LD awesome. I'm guessing long distance. I don't know. Fucking explain yourself. Going on to the channel comments. I've got one channel comment from last week, so I just want to point out that people should really give the Vita a chance to actually do something. I've played with it for a few minutes and it looks nice. However, I can say that Sony went about marketing. Well, I'm assuming you're supposed to be saying the way Sony went about marketing in the system. Went about marketing it, and the entire business model is bass awkward. I'm guessing it's supposed to be as awkward, but the way they promoted the Vita was wrong. There's three major things wrong with it. 1. Not enough games. 2. Proprietary memory cards. When we can get SD cards for fucking dirt cheap. We can stick them in the Nintendo 3DS, the Nintendo Wii. We can use them in various fucking other systems. Why can't we just have one proprietary memory system for everything? Think about it. It's cheap. And speaking of cheap, the price point was all wrong. That's my opinion. So those are the comments that I've picked out for this week. I'm not going to do any Facebook ones because we're going to save them for the podcast. But there is one thing I wanted to point out. I asked you guys to leave us video questions. Video questions for me to answer on the Fan in the Flames. Now I want some for next week. If I don't get any for next week, you're not getting a Fan in the Flames for next week. How's that? Anyway, I've been Sainty Magnus. See you on the HBP podcast.